the main thing he wanted to do, which we couldn't do, but we found an alternative for, was he wanted me to ash a cigarette on his balls.
Hello.
And welcome to
Champagne Room Secrets, the show where two hilarious sex workers give you a peek behind the curtain of the adult industry through personal anecdotes, content analysis, and sometimes interviews.
Sometimes.
Where? I am Candi / Barbie. Yeah.
Yeah. And I am Kitty. Yeah.
Ah! I'm so excited.
I know.
You know why? First of all, because I love you. Second of all, because we have Baba.
Look at these boobers.
I'm surprised
these
that
extra big.
Oh,
is it wet?
Just from the condensation is what they tell me that is. The jury is out whether the water on drinks is.
See, it's what the scientists say, but I don't always believe them.
I don't trust scientists unless they're giving me a lot of money. Wait, you guys, I didn't tell you this at the time. I think it's been enough time past. It was like a year ago. I'm so serious. I saw a client. It was just like a one-time thing because he doesn't live here, but he was it was so long ago I forgot, but he was like a plasma scientist. He was like I don't know.
Plasma like in your blood or plasma like in a TV?
Oh, maybe it wasn't plasma. It was like, he was like working on, like how they made the atomic bomb, but it's bad? That, but good. It was like a nuclear scientist.
But how is that?
No, but like they're trying to make like they're trying to make renewable energy through science and through atoms.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what I mean though?
And then you est is D.
His dick was really big.
Well,
I was like, but he was like a nerd.
So what's crazy is, biologically speaking, science.
Yeah.
Nerds can have big dicks.
I know it's true.
Historically, in my research, there actually might be a correlation, but I do understand biologically there isn't.
Anyways, it was long enough ago that I feel like I can say it because he had like government clearance and stuff. And he wasn't like sharing like industry secrets, but I was like,
that's crazy.
Tell me a secret. He's like, oh, no. You guys, you can tell we're in a cute mood today because we're just doing stories. This is like a very chill story time episode because we've been working.
Actually hired.
We've been actually working. So we're just being goofy and getting in the mood. We have some beautiful pandan caramel corn.
Yum, yum, yum. I feel really naughty because I keep on starting to talk while there's a bunch of balls in my mouth.
Haven't heard that before.
Do we have secrets this week?
Katandra, what is your champagne secret of the week?
What if I just said no?
You know what? That's a boundary.
That's a boundary that I'm setting.
As a person with rights, I respect it.
You only have so many, though.
I am losing them.
My secret of the week is that I went through a mental list of all of the men in our lives. Because our lives are shared.
Shared and cherished.
And I ranked them by how good of a sperm donor they would be.
Ooh.
I don't want a child. And if I did want a child, I don't need a donor. But we were talking about this, and I was like, who's good? And I immediately was like, Billy Bob. And then you were like, no.
No,
For
but like,
a number of reasons, no.
I would be okay with you, with Billy Bob being your sperm donor. I don't think he would be okay with it because he doesn't want to spread his genetics.
I think it's not for him.
Because he's mentally, we're all mentally ill. He just is very like philosophical about it. Like I wouldn't say he's like anti-natalist, but like almost anti-natalist. But he actually likes kids. I don't want to have kids because kids are gross. And I've been in the trenches. Yeah. There's nothing cute left in my mind about children. I was a nanny for 10 years. Like there's nothing. Like it's not fun. I do love a little baby though.
Yeah. And so baby. That was like would but doesn't want to.
Yeah.
In this hypothetical. And then I was like, well, friend of the show is getting married to one of the few men that I also enjoy as company of. But then I was like, I don't think either of them would want that.
I know our other friend might be down to have some like half siblings.
Yeah. We could just call them cousins.
Yeah.
But that's very modern.
That would modern.
It's a little modern.
You sounded like a suburban white mom.
I know. My hypothetical
They're very modern.
My hypothetical sperm donor.
You're not gonna have sex with him.
No, absolutely not.
So I don't know.
I don't know.
The other friend / our manager. Tell us your thoughts down below.
You know what? I'll intentionally not tell her about this.
Let's not tell her. Let's wait till she sees it. Then I'll know for sure.
Wait till he's walking through the room and hears it. He's like, is this play about us. If you'd be my hypothetical donor, comment down below. I don't want a child right now, and I definitely don't want it from you, but you know. So that's my secret, is that I've been thinking about sperms and babies and been lost in the sauce. What's your...
My secret of the week.
You interrupted me.
I did. I'm sorry.
What is your champagne secret of the week?
Okay. So I like to sometimes call back to when I make concrete statements or when I make judgment on others.
Because you usually change your mind.
I often change my mind. And you know what? I'm not afraid to admit that.
That's one of your 3 rights.
Thank you. And I just have a little reveal. Well, I have to just show you.
What? No, don't. I don't want to see it in person. No. And they're like a little faded and dirty.
I'm a toe socks believer now.
They look really comfortable and disgusting.
I had a client last year. Yeah, I think we met last year. And he was like very, very hot. And it was like a very fun time. But he took off his shoes and he was wearing toe socks. And it gave me like the biggest ick ever. And I'm like, thank God I am a strong woman, because it's hard. You see a man's toes enveloped by the little fabric. I can't.
I really don't like looking.
But he did tell me.
They look like Simpson feet.
I thought they would match the
They do. They kind of... Oh, you look like a gargoyle.
My toes are like fucked up from like stripping and like dancing and like stripper heels. So I will like lose feeling in my toes because they're so squished together. But just like walking around the house and stuff, I have noticed my feet have like hurt less. Because I think you like feel like you're like more balanced and like, I don't know, they say that. And they look so...
They're pretty rough.
They're really embarrassing. And I wasn't even going to share because it's embarrassing. But I'm like, I gave that guy shit and I have to like give credit where credit's due.
I also love that you did make it a burlesque act. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. Do you want to start with a story?
This is a podcast about sex work, but one thing to note about the stories that we share is they are for entertainment purposes only, and all acts described are between consenting adults.
Any compensation has been exchanged for our time as an entertainer only.
Yeah, and everything's alleged because we could be liars.
And that's a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO.
So I had like practically 2 months no in-person work. The last time I had worked before these last couple was Pride, so end of June. Yeah. I got nothing. I got like texting clients, but that's barely anything. In the last like 3 weeks, I've had 3 sessions, which is really great and super fun. I did a couple new things, which I always love to do new things, and some of them were like crazy and some were like very mild or whatever. I did have a massage client, which, you know, is probably my least interesting, and that's fine. But I will say I was massaging him, and at one point he started talking about being an empath.
I feel like your hands are on my penis right now.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like massaging him because for the flow of that time, I try to do like face down fucking massage, but like flirty, sexy.
Did he have
touchy stuff?
Knots?
Oh yeah, his body was rough. His shoulders were really rough, and he had the same pain points and like knot points in his legs and feet that I have. So I was like, oh, I'm an expert here. Actually, I'm going to make you better in your body in a non-sexual way.
Yeah.
As well as other activities.
Sex workers are healers, people.
Yeah, it was awesome. But it was like, I don't know at one point, but I'm like massaging him and he is talking the whole time about himself, and that's fine. I'm like, okay, you're getting a 2-for-1. You're getting to brag, and then you're also getting massage. I guess 3-for-1, because then you're also going through the hand job factory. I was trying so hard not to physically cringe when he starts talking about being an empath. I'd much rather just have a soothing, quiet time, and he can just let me know when things feel good and feel bad. And like, I don't mind like moans and groans and be like, oh, too, you know, like things like that. But I don't want to hear it socially. And we've observed this in personal lives and friendships. I am a place for people to pour emotion. And I do think that's part of like what I can provide in the work. But when I get like a normal massage, don't want to make a sound because it feels so awkward. Yeah. That like if I were getting a massage that also involved like sexual pleasure, like it feels so embarrassing. So this man to nonstop talk about himself, not realize he's annoying me, and then be like, well, I'm an empath, so blah blah.
I'm an empath, so I can tell that you really like me talking about.
Yeah. And I'm just like, oh wow. Yeah. You're really kind. You're really thoughtful for doing that. Wow, you're so hardworking. It takes a lot.
I do feel like there's something about you, and I'm not saying it definitely is like race related. It's not that people look at you as this like
a person to go to.
Yeah, like you're very like, and not to say you're not wise. Like obviously you're wise, but I feel like people like put you like on this pedestal.
And it's been happening for a long time.
Yeah,
it happened in high school.
Right, you just have this like vibe.
I like to listen.
But then it's like you want to party and then you're stuck. And I look in the corner, where the fuck is Kitty?
For the last like 5 months, it's been someone crying at the club. And I'm not offending our friends who've done this. I'm a part of this because I care about you. But lately I've been really wanting to just like get fucked up and be a little bit stupid and messy. Let me cry at the club, please.
You've never been allowed to cry at the club.
Anyway, yeah. So the whole story is not very interesting. He spent the whole time talking about how great he is, talking about all the other providers he usually sees and who's his favorites and whatever, and then being like, I'm such an empath and whatever, and then dorked the peanuts. So.
You should have pretended to do Reiki on him.
I could make so much money.
If white women on TikTok can do it, you can fucking do it.
Because we already talked so much shit about doing massage, and I do feel the same doing that work. Like, my opinion hasn't changed. I'm like, yeah.
What do? They just like move the air.
I don't know, because I fall asleep to it pretty often.
They go like
when they do the plucking.
Taking the negative energy. Taking the negative energy.
I'm sorry, you guys, if we're offending you, but like...
I'm not. It's stupid.
I could make... Yeah, that's true.
Bitch, I went ghost hunting 3 weeks ago. Like, I'm nowhere to judge, but it is stupid.
Reiki the penis.
Could you get in trouble for sex work if you, like, didn't actually... Touch. It was all mental, metaphysical. You don't touch the penis. I don't think that... Loophole. It's called a Reiki hand job. Okay, we need
plucking to come. Okay, anyway.
Well, that was annoying, but you made money and it was like
a
decent client.
No, it was fine.
Do you think he'll book you again?
He said he would, but everyone says they will. What was interesting is he found me off of Private Delights, and I thought I deleted that account, so that was cool. I found a review that someone else gave me.
What did the review say?
Worth every penny.
It did not.
It did.
It said worth every penny.
It did.
5 stars?
Yeah, it was great. It was a great review. It's a guy I never want to see again.
That should be your new tagline.
Yeah, because I love to be paid in pennies.
Penny for your thoughts. A dime for your dreams.
A quarter to cook you. That's like my very mild work stories. Just,
I love.
But I do think Reiki hand jobs is something I want to try now.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Right. Should I throw one in? Okay, which one do I want to get into first? Because I had a few. Okay, one of them is that, like, I have talked about this man in the past, Diaper Change. Mm-hmm. I don't think I want to see him again. It was like nothing like bad happened.
So you saw Diaper Change
again
for another time, post diaper.
Yeah. So this was now a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I've been seeing him for like over a year now.
That's crazy that you've seen him like a couple times, and then the
diaper change.
The diaper change happened.
Yeah.
And you saw him again, which is like really kind of you.
Yeah.
But it's like, why did that come up out of nowhere? I guess it's like he's more comfortable.
I don't know. It's like nothing like horrible happened, but like I think now that I am getting a few more clients that like I'm getting closer to clients that I really like, and like even if I don't see them all the time, it's like I'm like relatively like enjoying myself. And something about him, he only books an hour. We don't have like a really good rapport. Like he's just not chatty, and like that's like fine. I don't need to be chatty, but it's like I don't really like know. I feel like we were chattier in like the beginning, and now it's just like getting straight into it. And when I say getting straight into it, it's a full fucking hour, nonstop an hour, and it's like constant. And I'm like, it's so like physically and mentally exhausting. And then basically this time he didn't do the diaper change thing again, but he was like bringing stuff up, like similar things, and then I just didn't, he wants me to toss a little salad, and I was like, no salad for me, I already ate today. Also, like I have him shower, and I swear to God, like I didn't smell it till later, but like, and it's not like bad, but it's just like, oh, my breath smelled really bad too. I have mouthwash, I have a shower, and then like I don't know, he gets like, he's very like rough during sex.
And it's not discussed?
No. And he just like waits.
Oh,
and
I hate that.
And I've told him, I hate my hair being pulled.
Yeah.
I legitimately, like, it's not fun. I
not
spend a
fun.
lot of time on my hair and like, it's not. And I've told him to like stop, and I've told him, and like he does.
But he tries again?
Yeah. And then I'm like, and I just like let it go. And I'm just like, just don't do it harder. He like eventually checks in after doing stuff.
But it's not about after.
I know. I'm in the moment where I'm like, I had a really good session in the morning. And this is like, I just need to get through this. And it's like, I'm not being like disturbed. Like, I'm not like, this is not something I'm going to like take with me later in the day. It's honestly just like really annoying. And it's just like a lot of like dumb stuff. And it's like, but he's not like good at it. It's just like, you know what I mean? And then he can never fucking come. He can never fucking come. It's always.
Even when you're giving
I have to.
Extra behind?
I have to like bring out all the king's horses and all the king's men. Like we have to have a lot of things going on. And it's just like so exhausting. And then I brought actually earplugs, but for somewhere else.
Bottom ear plugs.
Because I'm like, I know he's going to want that because of last time. And last time I was not prepared.
You're coming prepared.
And so I used one of those and like, I felt like he was going to swallow it. Do you know what I mean? Like boof it.
Flared base and everything.
I swear to God, I had their flared base.
What was he fucking doing before?
Well,
just like
it was because it's like the base is like this, and it's like a really, really small one. I'm like, I think it was like too small for him. But I'm like, try like make it bigger. He will not communicate with me. I'm like, I have like 4 sizes. I'm like, what looks good? He's like, I'm like, okay, well, I'll start with the smallest.
What do you?
It's so much. It's like
no. I understand not wanting
teeth.
to see him again.
And so we did that, and I was just so worried that it was gonna. I kept checking. I don't know what it was.
Because that would have been a whole thing if he swallowed it. If his bottom ear swallowed the plug.
So that came out. He let it go.
Oh my God.
And he's like, maybe use your fingers. And I was like, listen, I was born yesterday, and I have a friend. And they're sitting right next to me, and they said, next time, bring gloves. And so what did I do? I brought gloves. Wait, but it was really funny because like my hands were so covered in lube, and like I should have just gone and washed my hands and put it on. But I was like in the moment. He's like on a chair. I'm like, like I said, king's horses, king's men. Like it's a situation.
It's a lot.
And I don't want to have to get up and do all this bullshit. And so I try to like put but it's like they're small gloves because I have small hands. So I got like small size. And so I'm like pulling it, but it's getting stuck on the lube. And I'm just like, I'm having to pull down each finger of this. And I'm like, sorry. Sorry about this. And he's just like watching me like
just
stuck
sitting
with the
there,
glove,
like,
and he's like,
his ass is just like waiting.
And I do like, one finger slay, 2 finger. I'm like, let's fucking go. Again, it's like he's not giving me any
feedback.
No, I'm just going off of pure vibes. And then for a second I thought, because you always fist people, and I was like, what if I just try to fist him? Would that be so funny? That'd be such a funny story for the podcast.
That's such a jump from 2 to 5.
What? He pushes my boundaries until I say something. I'm gonna put my fist up your ass, sir. Eventually, the mountain exploded, and I was like, get the fuck out of here now.
His vibes sound shitty. If it were any single one of the things, if it was just the diaper thing, or it was just the
it's not easy, and I have to travel like kind of far. And thankfully, I had 2 clients see that day, but like I kind of didn't book with them earlier because I'm like, I'm not gonna travel this far to like book 1 fucking hour. Like,
I think it's totally fine to just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't see you.
Unless I'm like real.
If you get really hungry.
But like, no, I think so. I think you might be my first client that I'm like, I don't need to see you again. But also, I don't feel like traumatized. I feel annoyed mostly. Yeah. Just like annoyed. But like we went out that night and it was like so much fun. It's not like I like carried it with me and I was like, whatever. And that's why I say like, it's tough. And there are people that I think would have this and be like, oh my God, like, and like have like ruined their whole week. And that's so fucking valid. But I do think like whatever combination of things in my brain and experience, I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm fine. We're mentally ill. What do you want from us? That's why we're funny. Kitty, I want another story. I want the story. Tell me right now with your mouth full.
Well, there's 2. There's 2 stories.
I want to hear the one.
I know you want to hear that one, but I'm going to give it to you last.
Okay, fine.
I'll give you a quick one before that.
Okay.
So I had a forced feminization booking, which is awesome because that's been something I've really wanted to do. I got super excited. I packed like a whole kit, and the space I work out of has a costume closet and a stacked makeup kit. People just like donate things to all the time. I was like, this is going to be so fun. I was super excited because like I'm like, how fun would it be? Like my dream version of this session is to like do some bondage and do like a full makeover on someone and then make them do like a little runway moment or make them strip for me or something like that. Like I want to do that so bad. He comes in, it's our first time seeing each other. He's like, this is my first time seeing a provider, but I do this kind of stuff with my wife and she likes it. And I'm like, That's really cool. And they both found it kind of later in life. He was also my oldest client. He was 68. This is the oldest I've ever seen.
Okay, Santa.
Yeah. Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Grandpa's like, this is my retirement gift to myself. And I was like, slay. I love every detail. It feels so positive. I'm like, okay, well, show me what you brought. And it was truly like control top panties and nursing bras.
Okay.
And like
beige. All right.
And
it's something.
I don't want to kink shame.
Yeah.
I'm glad. And I'm like, oh, your wife is your age. And she bought these for you. And that's the slate. That's totally cool. And I was like, awesome. I love these. We'll also go look in the costume closet later in case there's something fun.
Yeah, something a little frilly and girly.
And I was like, well, how do you feel about wigs? Because he was bald and he was like, no. And I'm like, that's okay. How about like, do you want to dress up with some high heels too? Because we've got them in your size. And he's like, no. Okay, makeup, please. He's like, no, I just want to put on a bra and panties and be treated like a woman, be treated like a dirty girl. And I was like, okay, all right. I thought we were gonna have some like Barbie makeover fun, but that's fine. I can do that.
They'll come to you.
But it was fun because like I did take him to the costume closet and we looked through and he did. It feels like such a canon event. Maybe not everyone shares this experience, but it's like a bit of a trope of like your first sexy red bra. I had my first. It was Victoria's Secret. So honestly, I wish I could have it today. It was so beautiful. Mm-hmm. It had a black lace brocade and a little black bow and like dripping gems off of the. It was. Oh, I should not have had this as a child. But so he picked out what felt like his first sexy red bra.
I love that.
And he wore, I made him wear it. It was really cute. And the session was totally fun and definitely treated him like a dirty girl.
Oh.
But what's crazy is, and this is like the very alleged part, is I strapped.
Yeah. But
the strapping that he wanted was me just laying back.
He was riding that pony.
68. Riding like a fucking 19-year-old. Not that I fuck 19-year-olds now, but I was a horny 19-year-old at one point.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like 30 minutes. I could just kick it.
I just picture like a coin-operated pony, you know, outside like the grocery store.
It was literally that. And he was just bounced on it for a half hour. And I'm like,
slow clap for him, honestly.
So spry and limber and the cardio and also apparently just like continual prostate orgasms.
Oh wait, because you told me this, but explain it because I thought that was really interesting.
I mean, it makes sense as a way of like having an orgasm, probably similar to if you have like a clitoris and a G-spot. You can kind of have rolling orgasms. Yeah. If your body works that way and you know how to work it, which is like something I do and it's very fun and cool. But apparently he's able to stimulate his prostate in a continuous like orgasm, still aroused or like continually, because he's not orgasming using like stimulation on his penis. Whereas like if I were to do that, there would be a refractory period, but because it's all prostate, I can like get the experience over and over. And he's like, also like I can come from nipple play on myself. And I was just like, you're elite. I don't know what you're doing, what supplements you're taking, who your god is, but
he needs to be on TV telling
people how to do this.
Yeah.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
I know. It's like, I don't think I've ever made anyone come that many times.
Wow.
Lying down doing nothing.
And it's not like he's like faking it because he's not like.
No, it was really real.
He's the client.
I was so proud of him.
That's really cool.
I truly did so little.
That's the best.
I thought I was going to do drag on another person.
Yeah.
And it turned out I said, put this on, and then I lied down.
I will say you did the stereotype of like sex workers just like making money laying on their backs. That has never been my experience personally.
No, I know.
But that's like genuinely like
felt pretty good.
What you did.
It was pretty slow.
I love that for you. I'm so proud of you.
Do you want to say something else and then I tell you the story you want to hear?
Okay, so this is how K-Hole Ken got his name.
K-Hole Ken.
We're hanging out, and he had allegedly provided some substances. It's not illegal to talk about doing ketamine, is it?
We talk about doing coke constantly.
That's true. Anyways, I brought a little ketamine.
That he gave you.
He gave me.
He gifted you.
He gifted me previously.
You, like, really nice ketamine.
And I brought it to there, and he did some Molly and I can't really do Molly because I'm on Zoloft. And so I was like doing like, I don't really like go crazy with ketamine. I do like a tiny little bit. Cause like one time I did accidentally a little bit too much and I was like tranquilized for real. I was like crawling in my house and I was like, never again. And I was fine. Like I wasn't stressed out. I was just like, well, I'm glad I'm home. I think I showered sitting down.
So doing a little more than average hits you pretty hard.
Yes. And I thought I was being so careful. And so I'm just doing a little here and there. And then we hang out a really long time. So his Molly worn off and he's like, oh, I'll have a little. And I was like, okay, yeah. And he took like a big old honker. And he's like, fine. I mean, he's a man. He's fine. And he's been doing it like a long time. And I'm like, I'll do like a little bit. Like, I swear to God, like 3 crystals, not crystals, like powder granules. And we're just like hanging out, listening to music. And I start on this thing and I'm like, it was giving me like kind of like a short film idea, which is like so like annoying film bro of me.
Yeah, it's very stereotypical.
But I know he would like love it if I said it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I can be a cringy film bro and he likes it. So I started to say it and then all of a sudden my words were over here. And I was like, and I'm just like, okay. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I think I just took a little too much and this is interesting.
You're very calm though. You were good.
Yeah, I was calm, but I was literally, it was just like everything was happening over here.
Yeah. Like, I know what you mean. You're not really first person.
No. I know what I want to say and I can say it, but I'm not saying it. Someone over there is saying it as me.
Oh my God.
And I just like have never quite experienced that.
It's so funny.
And, he was really, I kind of was like, okay, and he's like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's going to wear off. Like, he was actually really sweet. It was definitely, it was a moment.
So we've been calling that K-rimming rather than K-holing.
Yeah. So I don't know, because I do feel like in like 10, 20 minutes, I felt like out of that. So I do feel like I was like on like the literal rim of a K-hole. Like I was like looking down
into the hole and you're like, I'll stay here.
I was like, I'm not going in that hole today. Yeah. That was yesterday, different hole, but
yeah.
No, actually that was the next day in the future. I was looking down into the hole of the future of the next day.
Like, I gotta dive into this tomorrow.
I have to dive into the hole tomorrow. I don't have to dive into it this evening.
The hole being the client's butthole, not
the KO. I'm kind of combining like metaphors right now.
Yeah, I know. It just sounds like you K-holed the next day.
No, I didn't. I only K-holed, K-rimmed.
K-rimmed this once.
No, I had literally no bookings for 3 weeks, and then I saw him that night. And then I had those 2 clients the next day, starting at like 10 a.m. No, it was a lot. But I felt really good about it. Like I was just like exhausted. And then we like partied all weekend because it's summer, brought summer. That was kind of it. It was like a lovely little sesh. And I got out of that. I walked off the edge. I got back into my body. And I was like, I'll just do a little bit more. No, I'm kidding. I'm just glad it was like quick. I was with someone I felt safe with. And he was cool. And he's not someone who would like take advantage of me. I would like laugh if you'd be like, oh, he's really taking advantage. I'm like, okay, like who cares? What could you possibly do to me? I'm already here in my underwear. So it was fine, but it reminded me of your K-rimming story. Yeah, and I was thinking about you and you were with me.
I always think about you when I'm rimming.
Aw. Thanks.
Okay, let me tell you this thing.
Tell me.
Because I mentioned it, but then we didn't really
No, I need
talk about
details because you told me one detail.
But I think I have like my most extreme BDSM session thus far. And maybe I'm just saying it's extreme because it's things that I wouldn't necessarily like do recreationally / things I've just never thought about or done. But it started with human toilet.
Piss or poop?
Piss. I actually don't ever want to do poo-poos.
I kind of don't want to do that either.
I don't want anyone to know that I do it. And the fact that everyone knows that I do poop is...
It's like embarrassing.
I don't
want someone to see my poop. That's so weird.
No, I'm not into that. But peas, for whatever reason, I... like both online and in person, people want that from me. I don't, again, like...
Maybe you look very hydrated.
Not usually. But for work, I will be.
Yeah, but like you just have that vibe. You have the hydrated vibe.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I will hydrate. And so that's how we had to start, which I would like to keep as like an end
Because you just met this man and then you're pissing in his mouth like
immediately.
2 seconds
That's
later.
like too soon. It's too fast.
Where did you piss? Like in a bathroom? Or?
There's a really nice shower.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
With a bench and everything.
Oh, the bench. Oh, that's lovely.
It's perfect.
Cool.
But it's just like, it makes more sense as the finale, because then it's like, okay, shower off and we're done.
Yeah.
We had to start with it. Woo! So I was like...
And it was early in the day, right?
It was like 11:30 a.m. Early. It was so early. I don't know why, but like things being during the daytime is just not it. But we started with that. And so that's like already setting the tone. And then the rest of it was increasingly intense CBT. And that's not the therapy.
Not cognitive behavioral therapy?
No. Cockable torture. Which I've done like lightly, but not really. And he wanted like
heavy duty,
beaten up. So they have wrestling mats. So I rolled them out and made him like get on all fours. And I was like, I put on like platform heels and was like kicking him. It was crazy.
I wanted to do it, but
I was
I'd be
so
so
nervous.
scared.
I was so scared. And so I started really gentle, and he's like, you can do more than that. And I'm like, well, don't fucking say it like that. Then you'll make me mad that I fucking will. It was crazy. And it was like really pushing me in my like comfort, but not in a bad way. And like I'm stepping into a learning zone, not like I'm stepping outside of my boundary. And apparently like that, I pushed him to his comfort, like to the edge of his comfort zone, which can be really fun. And then the main thing he wanted to do, which we couldn't do, but we found an alternative for, was he wanted me to ash a cigarette on his balls. But we're inside, so we can't do that.
That is
so.
Does it like? Wouldn't that leave like a permanent mark?
Maybe a mark for a while.
Yeah, because like
I think if you put it out directly on someone and held it, that could scar.
Okay.
That's like a burn.
Right, because it's gonna leave a scar. But I'm just thinking like.
I think you just want like the ash flicked on it, but we couldn't do that. We were inside, and like I also like trying to be good about nicotine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smoking cigs.
Yeah. 1 drunk cigarette's fine.
Not 10.
Not 10. So his alternative that he pitched was that I use incense. An incense stick. Which is really creative, right? That's like smart.
Yeah.
But it's like very thin.
Yeah, it's not as like big as a typical cigarette.
It's not as big.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. But instead of ashing it, I did dot it all over his penis and balls.
All over?
All over. And he kept on asking for like specific points, and I just wouldn't give it to him. And so he was like full.
And it was staying lit.
Polka
it was
dot.
like
yeah.
Did it smell? Like did you smell the skin?
I did not smell the skin. Okay. Thank God. Because I didn't hold it down very long. It truly would be like a little. But it was leaving little marks, little burns. It was crazy. And I did like all of him. Granted, there's not a lot to
There wasn't a
cover.
big package to work with.
It wasn't a lot of surface area, but it was crazy. I've never done anything like that, and it was so intense. And it got me in a really good headspace, and I had a lot of fun, and I felt like, oh, I'm actually kind of good at this. Because I don't know, I'm very new, and I'm almost every single person I see is new to me, and I'm new to them, and so I don't necessarily have like comfortable dynamics with anyone yet. But this, I like settled into it. I'm like, this is fucked up, and I really like it. And I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but it was cool. It was so fucking crazy. And to just like see the aftermath, I was like, that's holy shit, what the fuck?
Did you take a picture?
No.
Oh,
and so after, I'm like, do you want to like wash up or something? Because I try to wrap like 10 minutes before our time's up so we could like aftercare, clean up, check in, whatever. And he was like, well, do you mind if I go jerk off? And I'm like in the other, like in the bathroom? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, sure, fuck it, I don't know.
Go
Usually
for it.
People ask for me to do that, but hey, slay.
Well, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. We brought some stories today.
We learned.
We went so many places.
The front and the back.
And looking over the edge.
And the top and the bottom. Mm-hmm. And almost in the hole.
And almost in the hole, making holes. A lot of holes.
Well, that's the job, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holes.
I wish my body had no holes.
But then you wouldn't be able to talk.
Sorry, everyone. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, just, Hang in there.
Someday we'll come up with an outro, but I do like hang in there. Yeah, hang in there, guys.
It'll get better. Remember the It Gets Better campaign?
What I hate is that my life did get better.
I know.
As a suicidal gay
Was it
teenager.
It was anti-suicide, or was it pro-gay, or both?
It was like, hey, I know you're sad gay, but once you're a grown up, it's not so bad.
Hey, once you start doing
Once
drugs,
you start doing ketamine, once you start doing
it
ketamine,
gets really good.
Doing ketamine and making money on your back, actually being gay is kind of cool.
It's kind of fun, actually. Subscribe and things. Please leave a comment and like and everything, please. Thank you. Please. Bye. Give me a little like audio erotic story and like a little vibrator. Like honestly, I'm not, and leave me alone.
Honestly, to be honest, leave me alone.
Honestly, to be honest,
sexually speaking,
people are like, what do you like? What are you into? Not being here, being alone.